participated in a town hall where similar questions and more in-depth questions were asked, and we had a little technical difficulty. Couldn't really figure out why, because everything was working in the system before we hit start, and it was working very clearly afterwards. But the young people did a fabulous job. I believe her name was Nyla, and her brother Famion. Excuse me if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but they did a fabulous job with their questions and just working with us through all those technical difficulties. So I wanted to come before you to discuss a lot of what we discussed during the town hall, and in hopes that I can also share it with them so that they can clearly hear about and learn about FGH and what we do and how they can be involved. Again, the town hall was sponsored by the Florence chapter of Jack and Jill of America. I'm going to begin, and I'm going to try to keep the questions and answers, should I say, as brief as I possibly can, but I do want to do justice. So, FGH is the product of my love for giving. I've always enjoyed giving back and community service, and that carried over into my professional life as an educator. And during my time as a teacher at Timminsville High School, I started a club, and it was called the Whirlwind Heart Club. It was an amazing club. I don't know if I had more fun than the kids, but we just had an amazing time. It became a district-wide initiative. Everyone enjoyed the activities. A lot of it was about awareness, heart health, in particular, Whirlwind Heart Club. And we did a lot of fun things with the school district and with members of the community in Florence School District 4. It was so enjoyable, whether we were talking about heart health or spreading awareness about breast cancer, or when we would have the Florence Humane Society come in with the puppies and we donated items to them. Regardless of what we were doing, it was just so much fun, and I knew that I wanted to continue to serve in that capacity. And as we often do, we grow, we mature, we go to different locations, we get different jobs. I knew that a time would come when I too would leave, and I would have to start that process all over again at my next destination. So I said to myself, self, you need to create an entity that is separate so that it will always exist, it will be. And at that moment, many years ago, I knew that I wanted to have a nonprofit organization. Life went on as it does. I lost a baby brother. That, kind of knocked me off my feet. But once I got leveled a little bit, I regained my focus, and I wanted to pick back up with that thought I had about having an organization. Now it had even more meaning for me because I wanted to create an organization that would also be in the memory of the baby brother and my older brother who had passed away as well. And many people ask, and I do not mind sharing, I want to share. Their memory brings me much joy. My older brother passed away from sickle cell disease, and many of you support our efforts with that, spreading awareness and raising funds. So that's why that's such a passion. It's the personal connection, direct personal connection there. And my baby brother was hit by a car. Long story short, obviously it's going to be about giving. It's going to be about serving, which is so near and dear to me. And I get to the point where we're trying to figure out what to call this organization. Again, as I mentioned, I was the founder of the Whirlwinds Heart Club during my time at Timminsville High School. So hearts was something that I wanted to be in the name. And push comes to shove, I'm thinking, I'm waiting on that click, that aha moment, as Oprah would probably call it. And I said, Forgiven Hearts, for representing my two brothers, and of course, me, I'm included, and my twin sister. So that is representative. Every part of it is represented in the organization, in the logo, in the name. The colors come from of the logo come from our birthstone. So there is always that personal connection. That is how For a Given Heart came to be. I also share a very brief snippet of the story on our website. You can go visit us there and learn more about the organization in regards to who we serve and how we serve the community. What does it mean to be a nonprofit organization? For me, being a nonprofit organization is being a part of a continuous loop of giving. It never ends. The need for something is always present, so the desire to give is always present. So it's about being a member of this sector where your goal is to provide some type of public benefit or to promote a social cause, basically for the greater good of your community, for society at large. That's what it means to be a nonprofit organization to me. Do employees get paid if they're employed by a nonprofit organization? That was a really good question. We are a 501c3 organization, so I'm going to get to the point where we have paid employees. That's in the business plan. As we've been in existence for about 2.5 years, we have goals that we establish for each year, and we're right on target with that. So one of the biggest goals we have for the upcoming years to get a location, and of course, now that we have our 501c3 status, to raise money, get grant money to come in so that we can employ people, which is a wonderful thing. Many of you have already started to go to our website to donate. Many of you donate in kind to us, and we so appreciate it. And it's going to continue to grow as we progress, and I thank you in advance for that. But for other organizations, they pay employees through monies raised, through grants that they have been awarded, and you, just as you do for your personal life, you create a budget and you fit all of it into the budget, because paying people to do a job is a part of your operations. And until you get to that point where you are able to do that, you hopefully are blessed to have people volunteer. And I thank all of the people who assist and volunteer for us. While I'm at work, you're running, picking this up, taking this there. So we've been very blessed to make it work. Are there benefits for people who support nonprofits? Yes, there are many benefits. I always tell people, and I feel sometimes when I'm talking that I'm always using cliches, or I become a big cliche, but it's a very genuine cliche. There's no way for me to get around it. The biggest benefit for both people, the person giving and the person receiving, I believe, is the joy, the happiness that it brings you. An item could be very small to someone, but if there is a need for that item, you are thrilled, you are excited, and seeing someone who is happy and excited to receive something brings you joy. And that, for me, is the biggest benefit of giving to a nonprofit, knowing that you're helping people. You giving doesn't just help one person or the person who directly receives something. It improves their situation. And in our situations usually don't just involve us. We have other people, our family members, our friends, who are all impacted by whatever our situation may be. And so when you help one person, it has a way to impact your entire family, entire communities, and just the whole world. Believe it or not, we all can do our part, and by helping nonprofits, you are definitely extending the helping hand to do your part, whether it's paid or on a volunteer basis. Because many times, even if you're paid, you're not aligned to the amount of work and what's required of you in this sector in many cases. As an executive director, what are the top leadership skills you use on a daily basis? Communication. You've heard it before, but we communicate continuously nonstop, so you have to be really good at it. Or if you're not, you have to be willing to get better, so that as an executive director, you're able to communicate your mission. You're able to express what it is that you want, what your vision is, and get people to buy into what that is to assist you. Again, talking about how do you operate, how do you pay people? Well, it's through getting these grants and donations, so you have to be able to articulate really, really well. Also, just as important is being able to listen well. I always say it's called active listening, really listening and actively observing your surrounding area in which you serve, just really paying attention to what is lacking, what the need is, and then figuring out how can we meet that need, how can we help people. So being a great communicator, being a great listener, you have to be able to listen well. Both of those play into building relationships. Yeah, you have to be able to build strong relationships. Those relationships will keep you successful, keep you where you need to be, keep you elevated, and help you get to the next step. We need other people to help us. You have knowledge, you have service, you have a contact, you have something that I need to acquire, borrow, or hopefully develop within myself or within the organization, that will help us be more successful. So you have to be able to build relationships, and with all of that in mind, you have to be able to make good decisions. You have to be able to analyze situations. Just as in COVID-19, we all have had to make adjustments. You may want to go out and do this and do that as you always have, but we've had to make a lot of tough calls because we have to ensure that we are being as safe as we possibly can. So that leads to being creative. Or do you need to be creative? You have to be able to engage your audience. So, like, you all, when you come back, as you come back, hopefully to watch this video, you are the people who I try to engage. You're the people who we try to engage, because I have some really amazing board members who are behind the scenes who are helping make this thing happen. So I would say creativity, thinking outside of the box, is also a really, really, really important skill that you need to have as a leader, really in general, but as an executive director of a nonprofit organization. What is the most challenging part of running a nonprofit organization? What I just said leads right into this: engaging people, getting people to buy in to what it is you're trying to do. Often, do you do events? I feel as if the last 2 quarters of the year are our busiest months in the year, and I think it is because it requires more footwork and going out and about, and I absolutely love it. We do a lot of that throughout the year, but for the first 2 quarters, we can do a lot of it from within indoors, and we're always available. People reach out to us all the time, and I encourage people to continue to do so. If there's ever a need for something, if we can't provide what you need, we will help you find the people who can. So we definitely encourage you to reach out to us if you are, especially in the PD and or the Low Country regions of South Carolina. What is one thing that teenagers can do to help the mission of Forgiven Heart? And I shared that we currently have two projects going on. We have our FGH Holiday Card Project, and we encourage you to participate. Again, this is posted on our social media, but you can DM us, you can email us. It is posted everywhere for you to be informed, aware of what we're doing, and hopefully join us. We collected over 500 cards last year, and we distributed those cards in the Low Country and in the PD residents of nursing homes. Our other big project that we have going on right now, we have our coat drive in partnership with Say You Will. We have boxes in many businesses. The businesses are listed on our social media. Clear out those closets, get those old coats and jackets, and take it to the nearest location. So that was pretty much what we talked about. Again, they did a fabulous job, and this was just a follow-up to that town hall. I again applaud the young people, and I applaud Jack and Jill of America, the Florence chapter, for doing an amazing job with the teens and the families. Please watch this video and comment when you do, so that I know that it has reached you. And remember, donate your coats, donate your cards. We are Forgiven Hearts. We foster forgiven hearts and responsibility.